Animals make some jaw-dropping houses just like us humans. Some of these creatures build to suit their own survival needs, while others put up cribs exclusively for their babies. Some search for specific materials, while others grab whatever is nearby. Still, there are those who dig into the ground. Here is the list of incredible ways animals build their houses. Beavers are the world's largest rodents, weighing up to 60 pounds and reaching 4 feet in length. These animal architects build their incredible houses on lakes, rivers, creeks, and streams. Up to 9 beaver buddies could live in the same crib, although the average is 4 to 8. Beavers use their amazing homes as a place to rest, raise their young, and for protection against predators. Before building one of these pads, the animal carefully selects a location. Usually they go for a hood that is close to a reliable food source. And no, not the McDonald's kind of hood. These guys use their teeth to cut down the trees and limbs used to construct their beaver nests. They hold the material in their powerful jaws and drag it to their building site. The beavers then dive underwater and use their forelegs to scoop up soft mud. Back at the surface, these busybodies stand upright using their tails to balance their bodies and deposit armfuls of mud to make the walls. While most species of spiders will simply spin a web in order to trap their lunch, the trapdoor spider employs a different tactic. It constructs a nightmarish den, something straight out of a horror movie, that would be considered a jack-in-the-box of the venomous itsy-bitsy world. There, they line their underground home with silk, which helps keep moisture inside the burrow and acts as the ultimate booby trap. Each burrow has a trapdoor with an ingeniously designed hinge. The cunning arachnid Dracula hangs on to the underside of the camouflage door, waiting for the unassuming insect or small bird to, drop by. A trapdoor spider will live for almost all of its life inside these incredible burrows. The oldest known Spidey spent a staggering 43 years inside a den, sucking life out of a sneaky insect after sneaky insect. I kinda like these guys, the spiders of course, don't you? These unbelievable nests are some of the most amazing homes created by animals. These guys are called sponge flies. Just like a butterfly, they build cocoons. These are not just another old covering, but some incredible multi-layered structures composed of an outer net and inner casing. To do this, the larva grabs a firm foothold, tucks its head in, and moves, only its abdomen, around. This releases a semi-liquid silk fetid finesse into a sturdy fiber. Up and down it goes, side to side, until it is fully enclosed in this elaborate mesh art. Cross fibers are installed for support and to guide the construction of the inner casing. The entire project takes between 3 and 6 hours to complete. Not bad for a worm who is about to sleep and wait to become a sponge fly. Well, we hope you're enjoying our well put together channel, so hit like and subscribe and we'll let you know whenever we drop a new one. Many insects use their incredible engineering abilities to protect themselves from predators and other dangers. However, unlike most insects, the ingenious cassid fly creates a defensive case that could be considered an all-terrain vehicle of the bug world. The caddis flies use silk from their bodies as well as pebbles, sand, and plant material to form the structural support. They essentially create a bug-based house around their bodies while they develop. The caddisfly even used the same silk and sand combinations to create nets and capture food particles from flowing water. These incredible bug lives as a nymph underwater in streams, rivers, and lakes for as long as 2 years. This whole time, they are safe and sound in their utmost impenetrable cases. When they are ready to pupate into adults, caddis must quickly swim to the surface of the water, then emerge from the casing and fly. The main food source for the red harvester ants is seeds. They hoard these in great numbers, hence their name. As with most ant species, their mating casts consist of winged alates, or reproductives, that reside in the nest until the weather permits them to fly away and mate. Once she has chosen a site, the female sheds her wings and begins to reproduce, creating a new colony. Red harvester ants' nests are characterized by a lack of foliage and small pebbles surrounding a hole that is usually at grade. Hollowed-out seeds are also found scattered throughout the nest. In grassland areas like ranches, the lack of plant life makes red harvester ant colonies very easy to spot. The mounds are typically flat and broad. 3 to 8 trails typically lead away from the mound like arms. These trails are used by ants to collect and bring back food to the mound. The worker ants follow the scent trail to collect food. Other ants, called middens, spend their time cleaning and tending to the mound. All worker ants and middens are female. Dude, I hope the Vogelkamp birdie is hungry. See how the female leaf-rolling weevil expertly crafts a cocoon? First, she makes nicks on the chosen leaf on both sides of a costa near the stalk. Then she waited for the leaf to wither under its nicks. Next, the female starts rolling up the folded leaf to make a nidus and lay her egg inside. Meanwhile, a male kept mounting her and sometimes patrolled the leaf as part of the male guarding duties until the nidus was almost completed. As the security touch, she folded back the remaining part of the leaf in order to make a fastening lid. Lastly, she cut off the completed nidus from the nickeled leaf. Entomologist Gwen Pearson shared an up-close real-time video of another weevil as she carefully folds the leaf into a nest. These arachnids are found in North American deserts like the Sonoran Desert in Arizona. Here, temperatures can reach up to 120 degrees Fahrenheit during the day. Desert scorpions are sand-colored to help evade predators and sneak up on prey. Their diets consist of insects, spiders, and occasionally small lizards and rodents. But the most impressive thing about them is, of course, their homes. Once a suitable spot is secured, a desert sand scorpion corkscrews its way into the ground, pushing dirt out. By digging the spiral layers into the sand, these critters create a wind tunnel through which they can confuse and evade predators. The unique shape also allows hot air to escape, combating the overwhelming heat of the desert just like an AC. The decision to live underground also helps this scorpion source and retain moisture, as a deep spiral burrow is one of the most effective ways to capture dew in the arid lands of the Sonora. See, animals have some tech skills too. Weaver ants live on trees and are known for their unique nesting skills. Their workers construct nests by weaving leaves into a larva silk. Colonies can be extremely large, consisting of more than 100 nests spanning numerous trees and containing more than 500,000 workers. The first phase of nest construction involves workers surveying potential nesting leaves by pulling on the edges with their mandibles. When a few ants have successfully bent a leaf or drawn its edges together, other workers nearby join the effort. The probability of a worker joining a concerted effort is dependent on the size of the group. Workers show a higher probability of joining when the group at work is large. When the span between two leaves is beyond the reach of a single ant, workers form chains with their bodies by grasping one another's waists. Multiple intricate chains working in unison often ratchet together larger-than-life leaves. The most amazing fact about these creatures is their animal homes. Cliff swallows build their mud nests on precipice faces and other vertical surfaces. They live in colonies of hundreds, even thousands of birds. These animals also build their houses on roofs or buildings. A pair works together, gathering pellets of wet mud in their beaks and laying them down in rows until the structure almost reaches the overhang above. Swallows deposit mud pellets into the nest with a shaking motion, leaving behind well-formed nuggets that bond and harden to a strong nest wall. Technically called an adherent cup, a finished nest consists over 1,000 mud pellets. Cliff swallows tuck their nests away in corners and make sure the openings are small so the eggs and nestlings are well protected from predators like hawks, owls, snakes, and mammals. Most bald eagle nests have a 6-foot radius, housing 2 adult birds and 1, 2, or sometimes 3 young ones. This can look pretty crowded considering the size of the birds. As the nestlings approach fledgling age, their wingspan is 6 feet or more. Nests can get very deep because most bald eagle couples add sticks to the same spot and use them for many years. First-year nests are usually smaller, with the nest size will increase each year as the eagles reuse the nest and add sticks to it. But it's not always a fun job. Some pairs need to rebuild their nests almost from scratch if winds and bad weather have damaged them. Again, one eagle may place a stick in one edge, only for the partner to move it to another place, and this can happen multiple times. Are you starting to feel like we're talking about some human households? Hit the like button if you can relate. The largest bald eagle nest on record was in St. Petersburg, Florida. It was 10 feet wide and 20 feet tall. This is another animal nest in the amazing animal world that was caught on tape. In 1995, divers noticed a beautiful strange circular pattern on the seafloor off the Japanese coast. Soon after, more circles were discovered nearby. Some liken these formations to underwater crop circles. The geometric formations mysteriously came and went, and for more than a decade nobody knew who or what made them. Aliens from the water? Finally, the creator of these remarkable formations was found, and it was a newly discovered species of pufferfish. When the males finish making the circles, the females come to inspect them. When a lady pufferfish likes a particular formation, she consents to reproduce with the mason. The pufferfish geometric patterns have 3 never-seen-before features. First, they involve radially aligned ridges and valleys outside the nest site. Secondly, the male decorates these ridges with fragments of shells. Thirdly, the male gathers fine sediments to give the resulting formation a distinctive look and coloring. These busybodies make hives in rock crevices, hollow trees, and other areas their scouts believe are appropriate for the colony. The glands of worker bees convert the sugar contents of honey into wax. This oozes through the bees' small pores to produce tiny flakes of wax on their abdomens. Similar to the domesticated honeybees, the wild buzzers then add the chewed wax to the honeycomb construction. They then bond large quantities of wax into cells of a honeycomb. When worker bees crowd together, the hive remains at 30 to 35 degrees Celsius, the temperature necessary to control the texture of the wax. Although worker bees only live for approximately 6 weeks, they spend their lives chewing honey, spitting, and molding wax to ensure the survival of the colony. Imagine such a job. The male Montezuma oropendola leans forward on a tree, bedecked with 20 or more hanging nests. The nests are intricately woven sacs hanging 3 feet or more from the branches. Oropendolas favor trees that are separate from other trees and often build near large nests of wasps. The wasps are okay with the birdies, but deter both potential nest predators and parasitic insects. Montezuma oropendola live in colonies and are polygamous breeders, meaning one male mates with many females. The dominant oropendola will father most of the youth in a colony that can have over 100 nests. Females build these amazing nests that are definitely some of the finest among animals who build their houses. This buzzer is renowned for its unusual architectural skills. When building their nests, blue orchard bees do not use cut leaves the way that leafcutters do. The Masonic bees use clay to make partitions and to seal the entrance. They seem to like company and happily build their nests next to each other. It creates an incredible series of special pods separated by mud dividers. Each little egg gets its own partition and the young ones get to grow up with their own rooms. The blue orchid bee's baby-making session is early spring. The adults promptly mate, search for empty holes that are the right size and shape, and go to work stocking their nests. The favorite food for their brood, fruit tree pollen, plus some of their nectar. Females collect this food, bring it to the nests, and knead it into a ball, mixing it with the nectar and their own saliva. Yuck! Remind me why you would call that special person honey. Are they so sticky? The young adult females construct nests that look like mud tubes of varying sizes. Each mud tube is supplied with several spiders that the female mud dauber catches and paralyzes with her venom. The female mud dauber deposits an egg on the first spider within each tube and then seals it with mud. The whole nest building process can take from 3 hours to 3 days. It usually ends when the wasp runs out of spideys or energy. During this nest building process, the female does all the work while the male remains in the nest, guarding it to make sure that no parasites get into the nest cells before they are sealed. Can you imagine the paralyzed spider waiting for the eggs to hatch and eat them? Creepy, right? Most freshwater fish familiar to sport fishermen reproduce by building nests and laying eggs in the spring. Unlike birds and reptiles among the freshwater fish species, the male builds and tends the nest. They try to build an attractive nest to entice females to come and breed with them. Donned with bright colors, the male sets about building a mound-shaped nest in a hollow on the bottom of the water body. He binds bits of plants with sticky threads ejected from his kidneys through the mouth. After this act of gross misconduct, the male coaxes and drives a female into the nest to lay her eggs. He then proudly joins her and sprays his seed to fertilize the eggs. Do you believe in reincarnation? I better not be a sticklefish then. The nests of most true paper wasps feature an open comb with cells for brood rearing. It also has a petiole, or constricted stalk, that attaches the nest to a branch or other structure. Paper wasps secrete a chemical that repels ants, which they spread around the base of the anchor to prevent the loss of eggs or brood. Most social wasps of the family Vespidae make nests from paper, but some stenograstine species use mud. A small group of wasps also constructs nests out of plant fiber. The nest consistency is quite different from that of true paper wasps due to the absence of the wood fibers, and the use of silk extruded by female wasps to bind the fibers. Nests can be found in sheltered areas such as eaves of a house, the branches of a tree, on the end of a pipe, or on an old clothing line. Some species vary their nest architecture depending on where they build. While some termites mooch for the woodwork of our homes, others build their own houses. These are some of the most impressive structures in the animal kingdom. Their mounds are forever evolving cities, made from the simplest materials, a mixture of soil, termite saliva, and dung. Although the mound appears solid, the structure is incredibly porous. Its walls have multiple tiny holes that allow air in and ventilate the entire structure. The top of the mound consists of a central chimney surrounded by an intricate network of tunnels and passages. Air moves through the porous walls into a series of small tunnels and onto the central chimney where it rises. When fresh air mixes with this warm current, it cools and sinks down into the nest. This ventilation system ensures oxygen reaches the lower areas of the mound and keeps the nest from overheating. The resident termites do not park anywhere in the mound but spend their time in a nest at or below ground level. Genius, huh? What do you think of this system? The baya is a weaver birdie found across South and Southeast Asia. They inhabit grasslands, cultivated areas, scrub, and secondary growths usually near fresh or brackish water. The half-built male nests of baya weavers look like helmets with chin straps that are called cockswings. These are some of the most amazing animal homes that exist in the wild animal world. They are widespread in their habitat but are prone to seasonal windstorms. A local myth has it that the baya uses fireflies stuck to the moist, amazing nest walls with mud to light up the interiors at night. However, that has been seen in the nests of baya weavers as dry clay. It is said that the birds collect blobs of wet mud and stick them inside the dome near the egg chamber. It is also said that they use lumps of dry clay inserted around the rim to stabilize the nest in strong winds. If you think of pursuing an architectural career, learn from these teachers first. Golden orb weaving spiders are large with silver gray to plum-colored bodies. They have brownish-black, sometimes yellow banded legs. The males are tiny and red-brown to brown in color. Golden orb weaving spiders are found in dry open forests and woodlands, coastal sand dune shrubs, and mangrove habitats. All orb weaving spiders make suspended, sticky, wheel-shaped webs. They go for openings between trees and shrubs where insects like to fly. Generally, the best orb weaving spiders are the three-clawed who make flat webs with sticky spiral silk. The building of a web is an engineering feat. It starts with the spider floating a line in the air to attach to another surface. The spider secures the line and then drops another line from the center, making a Y. In about 2 weeks, these pocket-sized birds manage to work 1,000 pellets of mud, weighing around 10 pounds, into an impressive dome. The oven's construction involves building a rather ordinary but oversized adobe cup on the branch. This is then developed into a sphere with a circular opening on one side, close but not directly over the branch. It takes considerable caution to add the mud pellets and smooth them out without collapsing the domed roof that curves inward. The procedure employs skills highly modified from that used the cup. The bird also constructed a curved internal wall, about 3/4 of the way towards the roof, creating an entire chamber between the door and the nest cavity. In Africa's Kalahari Desert, sparrow-sized birds called sociable weavers create enormous nesting structures that look like unplanned apartment complexes. These structures house hundreds of weaver families. This is one of the most amazing homes built by animal architects. Talk of weaver ant nests. Over the years, the birds' droppings enrich the soil below with nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, resulting in the tree growing more leaves than those without weaver nests. Giraffes can feed on the leaves, and antelopes cool off from the heat of the summer in the shade. The sociable weaver nests amazingly stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter, which is why a half-dozen other bird species vie for the unoccupied nest chambers. The interlopers include barbets, tits, lovebirds, finches, and the pygmy falcon. Even cheetahs climb into the trees to sprawl over the domed roof and soak up some sun. These are some of the many amazing images of weavers' ant nests that have been caught on camera. How sociable? Well, like social beings too. So keep those comments coming. You might wonder who this little bird is delivering flowers to. No, he's not being romantic, but decorating the lawn of his twig hut with carefully chosen ornaments. Can you believe these impressive structures were built by an animal? It's not a nest per se, but a bower, constructed and maintained for the sole purpose of, wait for it, impressing females. Bowerbird females regularly visit neighborhood paths to compare design choices. They base their mating choice on the best architecture. For bowerbird males, then, it is the civil skills that maintain their family lines. These amazing animals are native to western New Guinea. The bower is a cone-shaped hut-like structure with a front lawn of some square meters. This area is cleaned of debris and landscaped with a moss carpet. On it and at the entrance of the bower, decorations such as colorful flowers or fruit, shining beetle elytra, dried leaves, and other conspicuous objects are collected and artistically arranged. Doesn't this remind you of a dorm room or apartment in your hood? Do tell. This crazy fish likes to bury itself underground. Drought usually destroys aquatic life except for the African catfish, which miraculously manages to survive. People always wondered where the catfish vanished during the long droughts. It was finally discovered that the slippery fish becomes more like a nine-lived cats when the rivers dry up. The catfish head to the wettest part of the bury themselves in the mud. They secrete a mucus slime that covers their entire bodies and allows them to breathe through their skin. This means they can survive on very low oxygen in a kind of hibernation for months or even years. And when the rain finally comes back, they're the first fishes out. Animal cribs are an endless marvel, don't you think? So let's tour a few more. These alleged dogs live in underground burrows, extensive warrens of tunnels and chambers. Their residences are marked by multiple mounds of packed earth. Burrows have defined nurseries, sleeping quarters, and even toilets. Prairie dogs are perhaps most famous for these structures with numerous entrances. Their burrows are typically 6 to 10 feet deep. In the grasslands across the central and western United States, abandoned underground colonies called prairie dog towns become shelter for jackrabbits, toads, and rattlesnakes. These little creatures have a lot of energy. They can also withstand extreme temperatures on either end of the thermometer through intricate adaptive burrowing. Which animal house did you find the cutest? What do you think about their architectural skills? That is all for now. Like always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give us a big thumbs up and leave us some love in the comment section. To keep up to date with all of our awesome videos, be sure to hit subscribe and turn your notifications on and you'll never miss a thing. Until next time, take care of yourself.